I want you to tell me, what do you think happened here? Do you think I got pranked? Do you think I was on a hidden game show? Do you think I stepped into some alternate reality? What do you think happened? Because I have to be honest and very transparent and direct. Right in the beginning of this video, none of this is exaggerated.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What's up, Freccero fam? Welcome back to my channel. We like to experience everything that life has to offer. I travel a lot. I do a lot of unique things. I'm constantly bouncing around, and I've had a lot of crazy stories and unique experiences as a result. But this one story still blows my mind. At a restaurant in Vancouver, and I have to stress, like I said in the intro, none of this is exaggerated. And it all starts with a burrito. So I walked into this restaurant, and it was one of those places that had a main room and then a smaller room just kind of for takeout, where you could go in, order something, and then leave. And there were a couple chairs there where you could eat if you wanted to, but it was a small room nonetheless. I ordered a burrito, not thinking anything of it. And when I go to order this burrito, the lady goes, "Oh, just letting you know, you have to eat it here." And I was like, "Oh, no problem, I get it. You want to keep the places separate, takeout here, main dining room area there. No big deal." And then I ask her if they have any drinks, because I'm like, "Hey, I'm in Vancouver, I'm traveling, why not have a beer or something like that?" And she goes, "Yeah, we have beer in the other room." So about 5 or 10 minutes later, the burrito comes out, and when she goes to hand it to me, she goes, "Sir, just a reminder, the burrito cannot leave this room." And she said it with that level of intensity. And I was like, okay, no big deal. But I'm like, that's kind of weird. I feel like that was kind of a bit aggressive for, what she's trying to say. But I'm like, I get it. No big deal, I understand. So I go over, put my burrito on the counter, sit down. I'm like, you know what? Might as well snag a beer. I turn around, she's gone. And the tricky thing was, I was the only one in the takeout area. So I was like, okay, I don't want to leave my burrito out in the open, even though it's not opened yet. But I don't leave it out in the open and walk away from it. I'll just have the burrito on me, go into the main room real quick, order a beer, close out, and bring it into the small room, because she did say I could have alcohol in that takeout room while eating. So I walk into the main room, and I want to stress, there was not a private party going on. There was not any food allergy issues going on. None of the sort. I had the burrito in hand, completely covered up. I had not opened it yet. And now I go to the bar and say, "Hey, ma'am, I'm visiting Vancouver. Any suggestions you have when it comes to beers?" And the bartender starts doing that kind of like bartender riz. He's like, "Oh, my man, we got this IPA on tap for you. We got this blonde. If you like stouts, we got this great stout." As he's doing this, he sees the burrito. And when he does, his entire body language changes, stops this whole thing he's doing, goes, "What is that?" I saw fear in his eyes. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a burrito." And he starts freaking out. He's like, "How'd you get that in here?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I ordered it from the back. I just, no. He's like, "How did you get that in here? You can't be in here with that." I'm like, it's a burrito." I'm like, it's a burrito. And the level of intensity that he had would be the same exact level of intensity as if, like, say, I had a gun on me or a weapon, something along those lines. As this is happening, this commotion is going on, the bartender at the end of the bar is making a drink. Halfway through making his drink, he stops making his drink because he sees the burrito, sprints over, and goes, "Sir, I don't know how you got in here with that, but you gotta leave. You gotta get out. You gotta leave." And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. So then I go back in the other room. Now, at this point, I am extremely confused. I used to work in the food service industry. I'm a former bartender. I have friends who own restaurants and establishments, and I know a lot of the way things work. And I'm suddenly being like, that was a bit intense. That was a bit aggressive. Like, I was really just trying to get a beer. I wasn't eating it in the main area. It's not like I'm drunk or being a nuisance. Like, I was very polite. I'm like, that was kind of bizarre. I'm like, okay, well, the guy kind of hyped up that one beer. His one IPA was hyping up. And so I thought, you know what? It's Vancouver. People are very nice, very respectful in Vancouver. I'm just going to leave the burrito here, leave it on the counter. No one's here anyway in this room. I'll go in, order a beer, come back. So I walk back into the room. As I walk in, I start walking towards the bar again. I get surrounded. And I mean surrounded by the staff, and a guy with his hands like this, like in a very pompous way, and goes, "Sir, we just received word that you came into the restaurant with the burrito." And I'm like, "What?" And at this point, I start laughing a little bit. I'm like, "Wait, are you guys joking? And they're like, sir, that burrito cannot be in this room. I'm like, okay. Is something going on here? I literally asked them, I'm like, is this a prank? Like, what's happening? I'm like, guys, I just came in here to grab a beer because I did not want to leave my burrito alone by itself in the other room. I then left it in the other room. I left it in there. I don't have it on me. I'm just trying to go to the bar, get a beer, and then leave. And then luckily, by coincidence, there's a guy next to me sitting down, eating a burrito. And he said, look, he's eating a burrito. It's the same burrito. And the guy sitting down who saw all this kind of happen just goes to them like shrugs his shoulders like, yeah, it's a burrito. And the guy goes, sir, I'm sorry, but you're now banned from this room. You're not allowed to step foot in this room. We now have to escort you out into the other room. I'm like, what? For a burrito? Sir, sorry, we now have to escort you out. I'm like, it's fine. I can leave by myself. It's fine. So I left. I was like, I'm not going to cause a commotion at this point. So I get in the other room and I'm like, flabbergasted. I've never heard of anything like this. I'm like, I was racking my brain through every policy I've ever heard about from any restaurant. And I was like, it's not like a private party. There's no food allergy issues. It's not like I was eating it in the other room. Like I paid for it. I'm like, I have no idea what this could be. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well eat the burrito. Like at this point, I'm like, all right, I will say this 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't bad. Would I buy it again? Potentially. I mean, I don't know about after the story, but I think I would potentially buy it again. I'm about halfway through the burrito, and then I hear, faintly in the background, the girl, who I've not seen this entire time, go, sir? Exactly like that. And mid-bite of the burrito, and I'm like, oh my God. Put the burrito down, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And she goes, sir, did you really go in the other room with the burrito? And I was like, okay, you seem like a reasonable person. Can you tell me what's going on here? The only reason why I brought the burrito into the other room was because there was no one in here, and I just wanted to grab a beer and then leave real quickly. Then I left the burrito in here, went by myself without the burrito to order beer, and now I'm apparently banned from the other room, and they have to escort me out. Like, this is a bit excessive. This is a lot just for a burrito. And then she went, sir, but the burrito. And I'm like, okay, what is it about this burrito? Can you tell me exactly what is it about this burrito that can't be in the other room? Can you tell me why? That's all I want to know. Just why? Because this is a bit excessive. And she goes, it just can't be in the other room. The burrito just cannot leave this room. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but why? And she just goes, it just can't, sir. I'm sorry. It just can't. And now at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to get a straightforward answer. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to finish the burrito and leave, which is what I did. So that all being said, I want to ask all of you, what do you think happened? I've asked people who work in the restaurant industry. I've asked some of my friends who are bartenders and waiters and waitresses. None of them have any idea. All of them say, it was probably a prank. They were trying to mess with you because maybe they were bored that day. But I'm like, I don't know. The way things went down seemed a bit intense. Like I said, I genuinely think I would have had an easier time bringing a gun into that establishment than the burrito. The burrito was way worse than any weapon I could have had on me. So I have to ask you, what do you think happened?